Today I'm going to be using this pattern paper to cut a pencil skirt. This is going to be the part I use for the front of the skirt. I am folding the pattern paper into two. We are going to be cutting half of the front part of the skirt with this. I'm just folding it into two here. I'm just going to cut this part off that is not equal. This is going to be the front part of the skirt. I am folding it into two now. This is going to be the center of the skirt and this will be the hips. Now I'm just going to draw a straight line and this is where the waistline will be. From the waistline, I'm going to take a standard measurement of 9 inches downwards. This is where the hips measurement is going to be. I am going to mark that. That is 9 inches. From the bottom length, I'm going to mark 1 inch upwards. This is going to be the sewing allowance for folding the skirt. And I'm just going to roll a straight line across. I'm rolling a straight line for the hips. I am marking the dart, which is 4 inches from the center of the skirt. I am going to mark 4 inches downwards as well. I am going to join this and this is where I'm going to be using as darts for the skirt. I am marking half an inch to each side. That is where I'm going to join for the dart. So that is the dart on the waistline. Now I'm going to take the waist measurement. I'm going to be using a waist measurement of 32.5 inches and I'm going to be dividing that by 4. That will give me 8.1 inches. I am going to mark that now. That is the waist measurement. I'm going to be using a hip measurement of 43 inches and I'll be dividing that by 4. That should give me 10.75. I am going to be marking 10.75 on the hips. To get the pencil effect on the skirt, I am going to be taking my hips measurements and dividing it by 4. That should give me 10.75 inches. I'll take 2 inches out of that and that will give me 8.75 inches. That is the standard way to mark for the pencil skirt. But because I want my skirt to be more pencil, I'm going to just mark 8 inches on the bottom length of the skirt. Now I'm adding sewing allowance to the waist measurement, which is the sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. I am going to mark that. For the hips measurement, I'm adding sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. This is the hips. I'm adding sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. On the bottom length, I'm adding sewing allowance of 1.5 inches as well. I am taking my curve ruler and I'm joining the waist measurements to the hips. I am taking my straight ruler and joining the hip measurements to the bottom length. I'm going to roll a straight line here, so when folding my skirt, I don't lose fabric. I'm cutting it out now. This is my waist, this is my hips. and this is the bottom length. This is my 1-inch allowance for folding the fabric. This is the full front part of the skirt, and this is 1/2 of the skirt, of the front skirt. Now I folded the back of my skirt into two. This is going to be the center back. I am placing the front pattern on it. This is my center back. I'm adding another additional 1.5 inches to the center back of my skirt. I am going to mark this here. This is where I'm going to be using as the center back. As you can see, I have marked 1.5 inches on the center back. I have taken tape and taped it, the front part onto the back part, to make sure all my measurements are accurate. Just taking my tape rule to measure so you can see. This is 1.5 inches. I am taking 9 inches downwards on the back pattern of the skirt and I'm marking it because I want the zip of the skirt to sit well and curve below the butt to give it a nice fitting shape. I am just going to rule a straight line across here. From the center back of the skirt where I marked 9 inches downwards, I'm just going to take 1 inch out. I will be taking my curve ruler and I'm going to be ruling it out nicely. This is where I will be adding my zip to give the skirt a nice fit. I'm just going to take that curve to where my zip is going to begin from. This is where my zip is going to start from. From the bottom length, I'm just going to take 8 inches upwards, and this is where my slit is going to be starting from. I'm going to rule a straight line there. I am going to go back to the dart and I'm going to take a pin, or I'm just going to pierce holes in where my dart starts from and where it ends. I'm just going to turn this over and mark my dart. So this is my dart for the back part of my skirt. Now I'm just going to take a scissors and cut out. This is my center back and this is where my slit will be. I'm just going to cut across from here and I'm going to open the slit. I'm not cutting the slit part off because I'm going to leave it open, and I'm just cutting this part off because I won't be needing it for the back part of my skirt. I'm going to open that part of my slit. I am not going to cut it off, I'm just going to open it out. This is going to be the first half of the front of my skirt. This is my waist, this is my hips, and this is my bottom length. This is going to be half of the back pattern of the skirt. This is where my dart is going to be. This is where I'm adding my zip, and this is my slit and my bottom length. This is my band. I'm going to be folding my band. I need 1.5 inches folded for my band, but I'm going to be cutting out 2.5 inches because I'll be adding 0.5 inches on each side as sewing allowance. Since I'll be cutting my band on a fold, I'm just going to be taking a straight line of 17 inches, which will give us 34 inches after I've folded my fabric and cut it. That 34 inches includes sewing allowance. So I'm taking 17 inches and I'm marking it. I'm taking 2.5 inches and I'm marking it. I'm just going to roll a straight line here. I mark a straight line upwards. This is going to be my band for my skirt. I'm going to take a scissors now and I'm cutting it. In the next clip, I'm going to show you how I join the back of my skirt at the slit area. Writing cut on fold, so I remember to cut it on fold. This is what the band of the skirt looks like. As you can see, I have already ironed an interfacing in it. This is what the front of the skirt looks like. I've already cut it on fabric. This is one half of the back of the skirt and this is the other half. This is the slit part of my skirt. I'm going to be leaving half an inch out as sewing allowance. I'll make sure it is very secured. I am going to be turning it now and sewing this up to where my zip is going to start from. This is what the skirt looks like when I was done sewing it. Please comment, share, like and subscribe to my channel. It is still a growing channel.